welcome to this episode of GilbHub TV. Today we're going to be talking about getting new clients. Now, we all like to do what we can to get people to come to us in business. We work on our websites, we work on email campaigns, all kinds of inbound marketing to try and get clients to find us. But sometimes that isn't enough. Sometimes we actually have to go out there and actively seek new clients. But where are they hiding? Where do you actually find them? And how would you recognize them when you did find them? So if you haven't come across business networking before, there are groups all over the world, all over the UK and far, far beyond that do this kind of thing. And it's usually constructed meetings over breakfast, lunch or in the evening. And it's organised so that people can come along and meet people and talk and exchange business cards and talk about what they do and generally network, as the name would suggest. So I like to go personally to breakfast meetings. Everyone has their own taste. Some people prefer to do lunch because it's not quite so early in the morning. Some people prefer to do the evening because those meetings are quite often a bit more relaxed. But generally the idea is always just to go along, meet new people, talk about what you do and make new contacts. So that's a great place to find new clients. It's also a good place to get referrals. So if you meet someone new, they may not become your client, but someone that they work with or someone from their networking group might become a client through their recommendation. Another thing you can do is look for industry events. So not just the networking groups which are specifically for that purpose, but industry events like awards nights, trade exhibitions, trade shows, seminars, lectures, annual events. And then when you go to these kind of events, again, it's just a case of being sort of open to conversations, of starting conversations. Sometimes if you have to, if you go on your own, you might need to actually approach some people, which can be a little bit nerve-wracking, but maybe we'll do some different videos on that. But always have some cards with you, always have some business cards ready and a pen and paper to make notes afterwards, and just be ready to chat to people. And usually it's good fun. Those kind of events quite often have catering, they quite often have free wine and things like that. And if you go to trade shows, you can get all kinds of freebies. I need to do like a trade show haul at some point because I've done so many where I've come back with just bags and bags of stuff. And honestly, like, you don't have to buy any food that day either because people give away food and drink like there's no tomorrow. So another good thing that you can do is look online, and there are lots of free tools online, and obviously the big ones that we all know about are Twitter and LinkedIn. So those are the two. I mean, Facebook, I know a lot of people use Facebook as well very successfully. But I personally so far have used Twitter and LinkedIn the most for my business networking online. And of course it's very useful because you can do it from your desk, you can do it from the comfort of your own home or from your office. You don't have to leave the house, you don't have to spend the money on the train fare or the petrol to get there, you can just network from your computer. And Twitter is the first one I'm going to talk about. That's something that I've been using from the get-go. And good things to do with Twitter are use search terms. So it's very easy to get stuck in the scrolling screen where you've got loads and loads and loads and loads of tweets coming up every second, and there is no way that any of us can keep up with that. So what I would do is try and target yourself with Twitter. So if you know that you're trying to attract a certain type of client or a certain type of company or organisation, a certain type of market, then try using search terms. So for example, if you wanted to speak to more agencies, and say you wanted to speak to agencies in London for argument's sake, you could search in Twitter in quote marks London agencies, or London media agencies, or London recruitment agencies, or digital agencies, whatever it is you're looking for. And then you'll see lots and lots of people. You can filter it so that it shows you the people who are from those kinds of industries. And quite often companies, specifically companies, will have a Twitter account. And Twitter is great for that kind of thing because if a company has an account, quite often, especially if it's a larger company, there is someone whose job it is, or part of their job, is to manage the social media. So whereas if you were to email someone, for example, they might come back to you straight away, or your email might get buried in a big pile, or they might get distracted or too busy or whatever, and you don't get a response. I have found in the past that that's happened with emailing, but then if I tweet the same person, or I tweet the organisation that they're from, I get a response like that. And I don't know if that's because there is someone there whose job it is to monitor social media, or if it's because social media is just that bit more interesting and exciting for a lot of people these days. We don't tend to think of it as quite so spammy as email. And that little notification thing can be very alluring when you get a pop-up thing saying someone's messaged you. So I think at the moment there is that pull. So Twitter can be useful in that way for getting responses and for narrowing down who you're trying to attract with the Twitter search functionality. Another thing you can do, of course, is use hashtags. So if you are tweeting, and you're obviously tweeting things that are industry specific, you can use your little hashtag on key words and phrases and trends, and that way people will find you. So quite often when I'm putting these videos out, I will tweet and I'll put hashtag freelancing in my tweet, because it's a video about how to help freelancers. And I'll get lots of people who are to do with the freelancing world find me because they are there searching for the freelance hashtag. So the other big online player for business is, of course, LinkedIn. And I know a lot of people who use LinkedIn. I know a lot of more traditional entrepreneurs and business people who perhaps aren't quite so comfortable with things like Facebook and Twitter, but do like LinkedIn and have kind of been on LinkedIn because it's professional and we know where we are with LinkedIn. So that's a great place for talking business. With things like Twitter, it's a bit more sociable, a bit more relaxed. People are going to be tweeting some business stuff, some fun stuff, pictures of cats and so on. But LinkedIn is a little bit more professional generally. Most people are there to do business. And that's quite, a nice thing when that's what you're trying to do. So LinkedIn's a good one to be a part of, and it's great not just to be on there, but to use it for finding your connections, asking for introductions. You can also post discussions and join in with discussions. So a bit like Twitter, if someone is posting in a forum or posting a blog article on LinkedIn Pulse, something like that, you can of course comment and join in on that conversation as well. And then if you find that there are things trending or there's something that you think would be useful to add to the conversation, then you can post your own comments. You can post status updates, which could be links to other websites, or you can post your own articles in Pulse as well. And that's something which has got me introductions to people before. So this video will be going on LinkedIn. Perhaps you're even watching this through LinkedIn, but it's a useful tool to use. And last but not least, my fifth tip for where to find clients is referrals. Now it kind of goes without saying almost, because it's something that runs through all of the tips that I've just talked about. So Twitter, LinkedIn, networking groups and industry events. It's all about networking. So you probably heard people say that a referral is the best way to market yourself. It's the most powerful way of marketing yourself. And I don't have any statistics to hand, but to me that kind of makes sense. And the reason that is the case, I think, for a lot of people is because a referral comes with trust, and it comes with evidence, and it comes with personal connection. So just to give you an example, if you're not familiar with the networking stratosphere, is say you had a leaky sink and you needed a plumber to come round. And you might think, well, I could Google online, I could look in the yellow pages, I could find a plumber, but who knows whether they'd be any good? Maybe they would flood my kitchen. We don't know. So what you're more likely to do is go to your friend and say, who was that plumber you had, last year when you needed that stuff doing in your bathroom? Who was it that you got round? Was he any good? And if they say, oh yeah, he was great, he was cheap, he was reasonable, he was tidy, he cleaned up after himself, did a great job, no fuss, then you are so much more likely to go with that plumber than anyone you found online, no matter how many great testimonials or star ratings they had. Why? Because your friend said that they were good. And you trust your friend, So by extension, you trust the plumber that they've recommended. And it's that principle in business across the board. If someone that you trust trusts another person, you're more likely to trust them as well. Because why would someone else recommend you to someone that wasn't going to do a good job? It would only make them look bad. So that's kind of how referrals and networking works. The basis of regular networking events and meetings is on this idea of building up trust and relationships that you can rely on. So referrals are a hugely powerful way of getting new business. So I hope that's all been useful for you, whether you are looking to go out and walk around the world networking and spreading your message to everyone you meet, or whether you're going to try it online for a little bit. To be honest, I would recommend doing both. It's no good just trying to stay at home and hide behind a computer screen. You need to get out into the world and talk to people face to face. But the internet can be a good place to start those conversations. As always, be careful. Don't go telling people any personal information online, however great a prospect they may seem to be. Leave that until you're in a trusted relationship with them. But use it to make conversations start, make introductions. Go to some networking events, meet some people, be sensible, be safe, but have fun doing it, enjoy it, and good luck finding new clients. So thanks for watching this episode of GilbHub TV. If you would like to learn more about me, please go to my website, which is www.gilbhub.com, or you can connect with me on Twitter at @HannahGilb or LinkedIn. All of the links are below, and if you have any tips for finding new clients, if there are any particular places that you've been or methods that you've tried that have really, really worked, or if you have any questions on this kind of area, please leave a comment below or on the website or on Twitter, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thanks for watching.